Ever wanted to play Untitled Goose Game but this time as a cat? What about stealing people's lunch and making a run for it? Breaking stuff because you feel like it? What about napping anywhere you want? Being a chaos gremlin never felt this warm, cute, and cozy before. Little Kitty Big City was developed and published by Double Dagger Studio and released on May 9, 2024 for the Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and the PC. Spoiler warning, as we will be covering the story and gameplay mechanics the game has to offer. The story revolves around Kitty in a very Asian city, presumably Japan. Kitty falls from their favorite napping spot and hijacks a crow mid-flight and lands in a trash bin. Kitty must now find a way back to its owner's apartment and navigate the city while encountering other animals in a short yet enjoyable journey. Kitty breaks out of the trash bin and finds itself in an unfamiliar street. Kitty then meets Crow it bumped into and asks Kitty to follow it. After going through a very wet street, what the fuck?
Hello, motherfucker.
You meet Crow, and Crow asks you to bring 25 shinies. It can be anything from bottle caps to paper clips to car keys and other knickknacks. Good luck to the guy who can't drive his car or the person who can't go inside their house. After giving Crow the 25 shinies, Crow will then provide you with fish, and you gotta chomp all of that fish if you want to climb up some ivy. Crow then tells you that you must find fish in the city to make your way back up to the apartment. My issue here is that the game does have tricky camera work when it comes to talking. I had a weird angle when talking to Crow, but hey, it adds to the chaos. It's a small thing, but it does take you out of it during this interaction. Other than that, you can move around the camera to try and fix the angle yourself. This is the part where it's basically free roam, and you will now need to find all of the fishes in the city to climb up back to your apartment. The fun part here is that you can meet all sorts of different animals in the game. One is a raccoon named Tanuki, because people think raccoons look like a tanuki, but dude, raccoons don't have these.
These nuts? Ha! Got him!
Tanuki is an engineer of some sorts and created this thing called the Petwork. This is the game's fast travel system and it costs feathers. You'll have to catch birds and have them drop feathers so you can go around the city much faster. Another animal you can meet in the game is the father duck located by the shrine. The father duck will task you in finding his 4 ducklings. Each duckling will have a specific task you'll have to do, from pulling a basket over an air vent so that the duckling goes down, to turning off a Duck Virgin arcade cabinet of Street Fighter 2. I love this Easter egg, by the way. Then you need to find a duck away from the water in a convenience store, and lastly, saving a duck from being indefinitely trapped inside a washing machine. Either that duck is coming out poofy, or just coming out a sous vide duckling. Jokes aside, why do I see Petro in there? The city is filled with animals. But what about insects? Well, Little Kitty Big City got you covered in that area. Beetle can be found in the construction yard and is asking for help because its phone got drenched in concrete. Beetle is the manager of Taffy, a very famous fluffy cat. Beetle wants you to bring in a new phone because it can't use the old phone due to the concrete and is worried about Taffy's social media presence and all the viral posts they're about to make. So now, you gotta wait for a human and steal a phone from them and give it to Beetle. Doing so unlocks the camera mode, so you can take all of those cute photos of Kitty. Beetle does make another appearance later in the game when you go near Taffy's balcony. It's a fun interaction which I won't spoil you, so you got to see that one for yourself. Speaking of unlockables, let's talk about hats and emotes. What does this have to do with animals, Android? Well, some animals have emotes and hats tied to them. First is this veteran orange cat near the start of the game. This cat will teach us about catching birds, from being a proud hunter via pouncing on the birds to dropping a sandwich or a bagel so that you can lure birds and catch them at that point. Or, if you're quick and lucky enough, just jump up and pray you can catch the bird. After catching that bird, you can get an emote from the orange cat. Another cat in the city is the mayor. You can find him near the small store. The mayor will ask you to destroy jam bottles because fuck jam bottles because the mayor said so. The mayor will want you to break 3 jam bottles in the store. You'll have to be quick and careful or the lady watching the store will throw you out. After destroying the bottles, the mayor awards you with the yuck emote, and this has to be my favorite so far. The third cat you can meet is Safi, the Sunbeam Cat. This cat will not budge from its napping spot and tells you that he only moves away from the spot when there's food and when the food bell rings. You're now tasked with getting a bagel for Safi and ring the bell so that Safi moves out of the spot. After doing so, you get the immediate nap emote from Safi. Lastly, we got Castle Cat. This cat is worried about his owner's pet bird, Ramune. Ramune? Ramon? which Castle Cat treats like a little brother and wants us to fight Remine so Remine understands how hard it is in the real world. After catching Remine, he returns back to the shop and Castle Cat teaches you how to do the making muffins emote. Okay, so the game calls it making muffins, but as far as I know, it's called making biscuits. Some people even call it kneading. So, yo, sound off in the comments below and let me know what you think is right. Now that we got emotes out of the way, let's talk about hats. Hats can be found in gacha capsules. This is by far the cutest thing about the game. You can customize Kitty with a hat that you prefer, and I love that. Some hats are references to things like Super Mario, to this frog hat, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to Frosh from Fairy Tail. That's just my headcanon, but, you know, I just think of Frosh. Another one is the shark hat, which has the baby shark reference in its description. And this might not be a reference or something, but I did notice birds with rings on them, and when you catch them, they drop shinies and feathers. But this just really reminds me of that Stuart Little 2 movie where the yellow bird was supposed to steal a ring and give it to an eagle. Now, you'll have to scour the city for the gacha capsule so you can get more hats to wear and drip out Kitty some more. There's also this thing called Gekku, which is a toy mascot, and I swear, this has to be a Reptar reference from the Rugrats. Crow will help you get some more gacha capsules in exchange for shinies, so you can go to the areas around the city and get those hats. Another animal that provides us with a hat is the Shiba. Shiba will ask us to find his balls because they're missing. Not because he got neutered, but his special rainbow-colored balls got misplaced. The Shiba then calls you Little Potato, while he calls himself Big Potato. I'm also a potato. After finding all of his balls, you get the Shiba hat for your troubles. Oh yeah, remember those ducks we talked about earlier? After delivering all 4 ducklings to Father Duck, you get an honorary duck hat for saving them. Lastly, there's Chameleon. Chameleon prides himself in being the most invisible creature in the city. After meeting him the first time, Chameleon will challenge you to find him 8 more times in the city. After beating him in his hide-and-seek challenge, you then get the top hat Chameleon has been wearing. I did get a weird interaction though, and it seems his checkpoint for the dialogue was triggered while I was far from him during the second hide-and-seek spot. This kind of shocked me a bit, but hopefully this can get fixed in the future. Time to talk about some mechanics. The game is very simple to be honest. The D-pad controls your camera, missions, map, and hat selections. The left thumbstick is your movement and the right thumbstick controls the camera. You have a dedicated meow button to get people's attention. Some like you meowing, some don't. Some people will take pictures of you and you can nuzzle on the person, while some will shoo you away and can scare you when they sneeze. And of course, you can crawl and run. As a cat, you also get the capability to knock things over with your paws. Knock pots over, knock jars over, knock some paint over some asshole's car since they parked illegally. You can also play with some balls and put them through goalposts for achievements. Some balls will be challenging, such as this one because there's tons of water around and... Wait, what the fuck? Asshole.
Oh my god!
The game can be a bit frustrating at times too. There is no way for you to pick up items that fall into the water. Another thing is this area here with the fans. You can get knocked back really far and you'll have to try and climb up again. Another issue I find in the game is controls. It's not that bad per se, but you'll have to be a bit careful when traversing ledges or going up platforms because if you jump accidentally while on a ledge, Kitty will drop down and you'll have to climb up again. Another thing is I didn't like the fast travel system where you need to have used a fast travel portal first before you can fast travel to it. It's a small detail, but can be a bit annoying for those players who don't want to catch a lot of birds. After running around the city, meeting all the animals, and doing things like recycling stuff for shinies, buying all the hats and finding all the gacha capsules, and getting all the emotes, you can then make your way back up to the apartment. They say that you would need to have all 4 fishes to climb up to the apartment, however you can actually get there with just 3. During your climb, it'll be a test of what you've learned in the game. Basically just climbing and jumping and making sure you don't fall down because it will be an annoying climb back up. One thing I love so much about the climb towards the apartment is the interactions you get on the way there. You'll meet all the animals you helped or interacted with in the city, with the exceptions of the other cats of course, because why work your way up when you can nap, wait for your food, or just break stuff? From Tanuki to the Ducklings to Father Duck and even Chameleon, this adds a feeling of accomplishment because it feels like a great send-off to the small kitty who got to brave the big city and makes its way back home. Upon reaching the top and the apartment window, Kitty goes back in and basks in the familiar space which is Kitty's owner's apartment. Kitty's owner then comes in to give Kitty a collar and you can name Kitty anything you want, but I'm sure cat owners will name it after their pets. I named Kitty Puswana because it's a cute name and is basically a name for my significant other's cat. After getting the collar, you get visited by Crow and tell you that you can visit the city anytime, and if you missed anything, Crow will mark it on your map. There's tons of achievements you can hunt later on, so if you really want to 100% the game. Little Kitty Big City is a fun game you can play to cool down from all those high-intensity games. It's a great palate cleanser in my opinion, and it has a wonderful art style. You can take away the cat and it'll still be an awesome map, teeming with personality, especially with the themes and layouts. It's packed with reference and overall is a must-play for cat lovers and gamers alike. It might not be full-on chaos like Untitled Goose Game and Goat Simulator, or a huge adventure arc like Stray, but Little Kitty Big City pounced on my heart and got me wanting for more. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you spending your time here. What are your thoughts on the game? Let me know what you think in the comments below. While we're at it, please leave a like, even subscribe if you enjoy these reviews. This lets me know you like this type of content and helps me with the almighty algorithm thingamabob. This has been your boy AndroidPAW, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.